Our Impacting Life 24/7 sponsors have helped us go where no podcast has gone before. Platinum sponsors. Poet Katrina McCain is the author of Because She Decided to Love. This book is a collection of poetry and prose about love and its important impact on every relationship. This raw and uncut poetry book addresses the themes of how we experience love through loss, hurt, pain, grief, and passion. Connect with her and get your copy of this book at poetKatrinaMcCain.com. Donald Skip Mondragon, MD, is a 26-year Army veteran, National Veterans Wrestling Champion, and speaker. He is the author of Wrestling Depression is Not for Wimps. Lessons learned from an amateur wrestler's fight to triumph over depression. Contact him at wrestlingisnotforwimps.com. The Underdog Ninja Foundation. This was founded in 2020 by Javi and Jessica Madrigal, a husband and wife team that have been battling and overcoming heart disease for over 18 years. Their personal story and experiences have led them to follow their calling of empowering, educating, and supporting those fighting heart disease. Contact this amazing team at underdogninja.com. Belinda Tyson Linder. She has spent decades investing in people from all different walks of life. She has led inner city programs for disadvantaged youth, as well as been a mentor to young adults, married couples, and individuals facing adversity. Belinda and her husband have built multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses and have trained leaders on having tenacity and character in business. Ultimately, Belinda cares about people and shows the love of God to everyone she encounters. Bettina Carey. Bettina Carey is the diminutive 4'9.5" Latina. She inspires and empowers women to create big results. They break through. No, they shatter their earnings glass ceilings. They kick self-imposed limitations to the curb and live their legacies now. Whether she's coaching from a live or virtual stage or conferring with a small cohort of bold women and men on the rise at a conference table, her championship strategies say you can win today. Contact her at weempoweryourlife.com. If you would like to become a sponsor of Impacting Life 24/7, reach out to CLKingspeaker.com.
It really is that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening.
Facing expensive vitamin C creams with dull results.
It is really that easy, and you don't have to use vitamin C creams. It is really that easy to become a sponsor of Impacting Life 24/7. It's really that easy. You realize that the things that you invest in, you should expect to see a return. And since we've started this podcast, we have been blessed to be downloaded in 46 states, 30 countries, and 27 different platforms carry this podcast every time it's uploaded. And so what our sponsors have helped us do is to branch out into other amazing things like you're seeing that's happening this week. This week, Impacting Life 24/7 LLC is partnering with the Craven County Sheriff Department. And we're going into the bowels of the jail to offer motivational moments this coming Wednesday and Thursday. We're not charging the prison a dime. Usually to get me on location is $7,000 per day. And we decided that we wanted to make a commitment based off of what our sponsors have done for us. We said if people have believed in us then we're going to go and believe in other people. Thank you, VP, for being in the house. Love and appreciate Craig Smith. So yes, this coming Wednesday and Thursday, on our own time and on our own dime, we're going into the heart of Onslow County Jail and offering them motivational moments. Isn't that exciting, y'all? That's just really exciting. And you know, what am I going to speak about? You know, it's not like this is my first time speaking to folks that are incarcerated, but I didn't want to come with some rehashed stuff. So what I'm going to speak about this coming Wednesday night and Thursday night, I believe, is how to let your present state become your present state. How to let your present state become your present state. And it's going to be something where it will cause and help these people to look at where they are presently and view it differently than the average person would view it. It's so easy to come into a state of incarceration and say, well, you know, I'm just getting done wrong by the system, the man, etc. But I'm going to teach them. Greg's going to be right by my side. Going to teach them how to understand and make their present state their present state. The same word, but two entirely different meanings. And if they can tap into that when they leave out of Craven County Correctional Institution, they won't come back. Okay? Because oftentimes we get wrapped up in our present state and we don't utilize it for our good. So tonight, I am excited to bring to you a message about salt. A message about salt. You know that it is an argument in the South, and I suppose it's an argument in the North, on how you are supposed to slather your grits with the decadence of salt or sugar. Some people say that I put sugar on my grits and I want them to taste sweet. But what I have come to realize tonight is that I must, as the impact motivator, from time to time, come to you not with sugar, but I got to come to you with salt. Oftentimes, we want to be entreated with sugar, don't we? We want it to be given to us in the most palatable format. We want words and encouragements and platitudes to be given to us in such a way that we feel so good about ourselves that it almost masks the reality that we're living in, because we're weighed down and we're burdened and we're heavy laden with sugar, where we feel so good. And you know, I'm not a doom and gloom speaker by any stretch of the imagination, but I do want you to know that sometimes, looking in our society, ladies and gentlemen, we have swirled around the soup bowl with nothing but sugar. And there are some bad reasons for having sugar in your life. Sugar can cause some bad side effects. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that sugar is not good for you? Did you know that? Some people stress and wonder, like, well, can I get sugar on my cereal? And can I get sugar on my oatmeal? And can I get sugar on my cream of wheat? Right? But I want to tell you that sugar is not always good for you. It is but a momentary pleasure. See, sugar has several characteristics that can cause adverse effects in your life. The first one is it can cause weight gain, and unwanted weight gain. Did you know that? That a massive amount of sugar can cause the body to exceed its capacity to carry itself. But man, it's so good in the moment that we're eating. And I was thinking last night, we were down at the ocean, the glorious, magnificent Atlantic Ocean, with me and the family and the wife and the kids. And we stopped to get some frozen ice. And man, I was diving into that frozen ice like I had no sense. And it was causing a brain freeze. I was putting my thumb up on the roof of my mouth because supposedly that stops a brain freeze. And you know what? After the brain freeze subsided just for a few moments, I had to get some more of that sugar because it was so good. I had a tangerine and green apple icy cup. And it was grabbing the jowls of my mouth. But it was also adding weight to this frame. Secondly, sugar may increase your risk of heart disease. See, it's a momentary pleasure. It feels good. It causes us to feel good. We put it in the same category as this thing called comfort foods. See, that's how we get around really the dangers of sugar, because it makes us comfortable. You see? But I'm coming to you tonight, not with sugar. I'm coming to you with salt. It may also increase acne on your face. All of us, I shaved just before the show tonight, and as I was getting the wardrobe together and getting myself prepared, I said, man, this skin is smooth even at 47 years old, but too much sugar can cause an acne reaction on your face, on other parts of your body, because sugar is just a momentary pleasure, but it has long-lasting ramifications. Are you listening to me? We like sugar. Don't sit here and say we don't. I do. Even in the midst of a agonizing brain freeze, I was still trying to slurp down that tangerine and green apple icy from the ice cream shop last night. Listen to me. Sugar has also been linked to increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. Diabetes runs in my family. From what I hear, my mother's side and my father's side. What I remember of him is him shooting himself with needles all the time. And I remember packages of needles around when I lived with him for a short spell. And then I always remembered seeing this candy around the house. I guess he needed it if his sugar got low. Let me tell you something. Sugar is linked to your risk of type 2 diabetes. Did you know that? This is not a health class. There's so much more to this metaphor, ladies and gentlemen. May increase your risk of cancer. That's right. Sugar is a momentary pleasure. And what we have engendered in our society is momentary pleasures right? When I first started speaking, a promotional video length, a good promotional video length was about 4 minutes. When I started speaking professionally almost 20 years ago, a good promotional video length was 4 minutes. Back when guys still had tapes and DVDs, etc. A good promotional video was 4 minutes. Do you know how long a promotional video is now? If you go 60 seconds, ain't nobody even listening to you. Past 60 seconds. And our younger generation only wants 30 seconds or 15 seconds in the form of a TikTok. See, sugar is momentary. You know what else sugar may do? Sugar may increase your risk of cancer. That's right. We want it palatable. Give it to us nice, CL King. Give it to us the easy way. Give it to us the way that causes a soothing sensation in our heart and in our mind, and give us the comfort food. But I'm just telling you that sugar ain't always good. Sugar increases your risk of depression. Did you know that? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have seen study after study of people when they say they cut out sugar of their diet, how their spirits are uplifted, they get more active, they lose weight, that they decrease their risk of diabetes, they reduce their risk of cancer just by eliminating this thing that we need so much, we clamor for it. It is the comfort source of our life, and humanity is now inundated with the need for sugar. Oh, but not the physical sugar, y'all. Not the granulated sugar. No. Sugar may accelerate skin aging processes. Did you know that? Sugar. And we want it so much. Listen to the reverberation of the song playing from the big blue bread truck driving through the neighborhood. It is known as the ice cream truck. And all summer, we wait out on the corner with our children, looking with gleeful eyes as the truck comes by to give a momentary pleasure. It is this captivating element called sugar. It can increase cellular aging. That's what sugar can do for you. Sugar. But we want it so bad. We have grown, we have morphed into a society that says, if you give it to me any other way besides with sugar, I will regurgitate it. I will refuse it. I will cut you off. Because we have become a society that can only be spoon-fed through the vehicle of sugar. Y'all listening to me now, ain't you? Sugar drains your energy. I thought about that. That after I ate that icy and I dealt with them brain freezes, I told Charity, I said, I'm sorry, babe, but you got to drive home. I'm dead tired. I hadn't done anything but sit down and watch the waves lap over my feet at the ocean. But that sugar tapped and drained the very energy out of my body, so that I was at risk of driving off the side of the road, falling asleep. But that's what we want. We love sugar. Sugar drains your energy. And lastly, sugar can lead to a fatty liver. I've given you all the physiological effects of sugar. And yet we clamor for it. We're enamored by it. It is marketed on every corner, in every street corner, in every Food Lion, in every Walmart, in every Rini Rico's, in every Piggly Wiggly. It's marketed. There's going to be sugar when you're checking out. There's going to be sugar when you're going down the aisles. There's going to be something with sugar laced in it. You know why? Because sugar feeds our momentary pleasure. Sugar feeds our momentary pleasure. It causes us to forget about its effects. Sugar is powerful. It's addictive. It's like a drug. And sometimes when I'm talking to people in society, I struggle with understanding why. We must have everything with a dose of sugar. I started writing this last chapter about Ruth E. Plowden in my book, Who Ate My Brownie? It will be finished on 7/24/2022, the manuscript. And I started thinking about Ruth E. Plowden, who was this woman that was in suburban America, and she had 83 foster kids over 80 years. Over 30 years. And you know what she did? She did not feed us a bunch of sugar. I'm not talking about the physical granulated sugar now. I'm talking about she did not feed us a bunch of fluff. Here I was, a homeless kid. My foster brothers abandoned by their parents. Sexually abused, physically abused, drug crack babies. She didn't come tiptoeing over to us with a spoonful of sugar saying, baby, it's going to be okay. You know why she didn't do that? I'll tell you why she didn't do that. Because she knew that this world deceives us with sugar. She knew that this world deceived those boys with sugar. Make us think, man, everything's good. What you doing is good. Oh, just getting a 69. Oh, that's so great. Way to go. We don't want to dare ruin your precious self-esteem. Boy, I'm stepping on some modern day emergent church theology today, ain't I? Yeah, we don't dare want to shatter your poor little precious self-image. Mom told me, she said, I know you was a homeless kid. I know you was sexually and physically abused. I know that's why they took you out of the group home. That's why they took you out the last foster home. That's why they did all the things they did. I remember you was running around on the streets homeless for 6 months. I get it. But you can use all that stuff as your excuse. And I'll put some nice granulated sugar on that waffle for you, Chris. Or you can have some salt. See, in the medical terms, because see, I gave you the medical terms for sugar, so let me give you the medical terms for some of the things, medical terms for medical opportunities for salt. You know, salt is a preservative, right? Long before there was refrigerators and ice boxes and all that stuff that we done came up with, before there was Freon, there was salt. And meat was cured and preserved with salt. Also, salt cures canker sores. Do you know that? Salt affects ingrown toenails. The things that your body is rejected, the things where you're having a malady in your body, salt says, let me visit there. Can't send sugar for a canker sore. Can't send sugar for an ingrown toe, a stuffy runny nose. Salt is proven to help you breathe easier when you got a cold. Did you know that? Salt's powerful. Salt helps with psoriasis and eczema. You can't send sugar for eczema, sweetheart. We love you, but you can't send sugar for eczema and psoriasis. No. If you want to try to tackle it, you're going to have to use some salt. I get this a lot, and I can testify. I don't have to buy the whatever that is for heartburn at night. If I eat too late, because y'all seen my post, I snuck out last night and got heated up my ribs downstairs. It was like almost 11 o'clock. What was I doing eating that kind of food at 11 o'clock? But you know what I did? I took a little salt afterwards to help with that heartburn. That's right. Baking soda is a type of salt. Did y'all know that? And it's also a natural antacid. Salt will consume it. The thing that was set out to destroy you. Salt can deliver you from. We're talking salt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving you the physiological stuff before I give you the final. Salt helps with bug bites. Did you know that? Did you know that salt helps with bug bites? A paste made from baking soda and a little bit of warm water and salt with any itching, stinging, or minor swelling, it can reduce it. Even rashes such as hives and reactions to poison ivy. Did you know that? Salt. And I so wonder why in our society today we demand so much sugar. I wonder why in our society today that we can't just tell you like it is. We can't tell you that there is a cliff 500 feet down the road. No, we've got to put sugar in the statement and hope that maybe you can metaphorically get what we're parenthetically trying to insert into your life. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, that don't work. Sometimes we have gotten so bloated off of being coddled with hearing what we want to hear that anytime there's ever salt brought into the equation, we get offended. You know you can get offended just about anything. You know that? Salt cures a sore throat. Y'all ain't never heard that? Gargling with a half a teaspoon of dissolved salt water, with a half a teaspoon of salt water for a painful throat? How come we don't ask for sugar? Huh? How come we don't ask for sugar? Salt helps tired feet. 2 cups of Epsom salt dissolved in a gallon of warm water is a common remedy for achy feet. Did y'all know that salt can cure your 10-mile hiking feet that are sore and painful? We don't put sugar in the warm water, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we have to use salt. Sometimes we need to know this is the way it is. Not the way you interpret it. Not the way that's the most politically correct. Not the way that's the most socially acceptable. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the way that it is. Salt is powerful. Did you know that salt helped with that halitosis in the morning? Start gargling with some salt. You kill them bacteria that was growing up in your mouthpiece overnight. Salt can kill it. Salt helps with cramps. You know, sometimes I jump out of the bed after I done cut this massive acreage that I have here at the ranch. Sometimes when I push mow it, back when we was push mowing it, I'd jump out of bed in the middle of the night and have cramps out of this world. I'd fly downstairs, get me a handful. I would not get a handful of sugar, ladies and gentlemen, because sugar wouldn't take away the pain. Sugar would just mask the real problem. And so I would have to get me a handful of salt, and I'd take it down the hatch, and the cramps would dissipate. I'm telling you, salt is powerful. And I want to speak to a generation that sometimes you're going to need to hear that won't work. I need to speak to a generation, And you need to hear that is not good enough. I need to speak to a generation, and you need to hear you need to try that again. See, because in our current society that only wants you to have a message for 15, 30, 45 seconds, because we are only interested in our momentary pleasures. We only want you to hurry up and get in and get out and tell us what we want to hear and let us go on about our business. Make us laugh, make us keep our interest, but only keep it for 30 seconds. I fear we will raise up a generation that can't handle salt. See, my foster mom, Ruth E. Plowden, she seasoned our lives with salt. 83 rough, rugged thoroughbreds from the hood. Ruth Plowden took, which I'm sitting in the Ruth E. Plowden legacy chair right here in the virtual studios of Impact Life 24/7. Ruth E. Plowden said, give me the hardest kids in northeastern Ohio. You know what Ruth E. Plowden said? Give me the worst of the worst. Give me the hardest criminals. Give me the biggest offenders. Bring them to my house, because I'm not going to season them with sugar. I'm going to season them with salt. And oftentimes with kids like me that would come to her house, we would have this expectation that everybody would feel sorry for us because we had so much calamity go on in our life, and because we had so much rejection, and because we had so many people turn their back on us, that all we wanted was a bowl of sugar. And mom said, no, sugar ain't good for you, honey. It's just going to make you bloated. I've got to season you with salt. See, the S in salt is asking you, do you have a strategy in life beyond what you have right now? See, strategy looks beyond the momentary. Salt, S, salt. The S in salt is, do you have a strategy? And many times, the reason why people fumble and fail and flail about, flopping around like a flounder on the seashore, is because they have no strategic vision for their life. The S in salt is, get yourself a strategy, even if it means I'm going to take next paycheck and save $5. Save $5 every paycheck until you got $500. Get you a strategy. You need salt. You don't need sugar. Quit spending all your money at Hardee's and Bojangles and McDonald's and put $5 away. Get you a strategy. Salt says, this ain't for right now. This is for beyond what I can. Oh, my Jesus, have mercy, y'all. Are y'all hearing me? I'm trying to tell you, the strategy is important in your life. If you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a plan, if you don't, the S in salt, I'm teaching on salt, ladies and gentlemen, S.A.L.T. I belabored the point about how sugar is bad for us and how salt is good for us. The remedies of salt and the maladies of sugar. I've done that. I've given you the medical. I'm not a doctor, but all you got to do is go to WebMD and find out how bad sugar is and how good salt is. But I want to tell you that the S in salt is strategy. And I see so many people, especially my next generation, wandering around almost in the twilight zone with no strategy. You know, my foster mom, Ruth E. Plowden, who I deeply love, was going on to her reward in 2013, who I was blessed to preach her funeral. She provoked us to think beyond the momentary. Sugar gets you satisfied in the moment, but salt causes you to form a strategy. The S is a strategy. The A in salt is salt absorbs water, which causes you to drink more, right? And causes your body overall to remain hydrated, because you're going to keep drinking because the salt's taking that water away. So you're not carrying around a bunch of water weight when you've got salt in the plan. See, sometimes people are sloshing around the waters of yesterday. And all they got is sugar, and wondering why it's just sitting there, because you didn't add salt. Because salt will absorb that water and cause you to become thirsty. When's the last time you became thirsty for something more than what you have right now? Huh? Are you listening to C.L. King? When is the last time you got a thirst for something more that said, man, you know what? Okay, well, I achieved my bachelor's, but I got a thirst for something more. I don't just want to be at the entry level. I don't just want to be at the intermediate level. I don't just want to be at the advanced level. I want to be the level. And I challenge you that if you will stop hanging around the kiddie pool of sugar and start taking life seriously with salt, it'll give you a thirst like you've never had before. Woo, Greg, are you feeling this, brother? I hope somebody out here taking notes. The L in salt. I'm almost done. It's only S.A.L.T. The L in salt is it lingers. Salt lingers even after it's left your palate. Salt lingers. Did you know that lingering is what turned Lot's wife into a pillar of salt? Right? Salt lingers. It remains. It's not just momentary. But man, your palate just begins to savor that salt, that taste. And when you get into something good, when you get into something great, you need to linger there. See, here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm teaching you that sometimes we're here, we're there, we're here, we're there, we're here, we're there, we're here. I look at some people, they're going to start a podcast, they're going to start a movie theater, they're going to start a bike club, they're going to start a book club, they're going to go ride around the country. They done did 1,700 different things and not accomplished any of them. Salt lingers. I'm teaching y'all that we need a generation that isn't afraid of salt. And last but not least, the T is that salt is true. Do you know that? It don't need no other ingredients. You know, that's I want you to understand. I'm talking to you. The Bible says in Matthew 5:13 that ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, what else? What can you do to make salt salty? You know, Mark 9:50 said, salt is good. But if the salt has lost its saltiness, see, this is what I'm trying to tell you, is that oftentimes how we lose our saltiness is that we want the immediate, we want the momentary, we want the quick pleasures, right? We want the TikTok vibe in our life. And no. I'm telling you that you need some salt. My foster mom didn't cut it to me easy. She didn't give it to me on a spoonful of salt. I mean, a spoonful of sugar. She gave it to me on a tablespoonful of salt. And you know what? Why I thank her so much for that? Because when I stood on those yellow footprints, footprints in South Carolina at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island, I didn't go down there with a mentality of entitlement. I didn't go down there thinking that I was gonna call the shots at Paris Island because I was a foster kid and I was a homeless kid and I was an abused kid. My foster mom taught me that she was seasoning my life with salt. Sometimes you ain't right, buddy. Sometimes that wasn't good enough, pal. Sometimes you wrong, doc. And so when I went down to Paris Island, I heard that ain't good enough. You wrong. You got to do it over. Do it again. Cut too slow. Try it over. And I was seasoned with salt. I didn't get my little feelings hurt about being wrong because I was wrong. Whew. Salt is good. It's good, ladies and gentlemen. It's good. And I, as the impact motivator, I'm not trying to be Zig Ziglar. I'm not trying to be Les Brown. I'm not trying to be E.T. I am me. And when I come to you as the impact motivator, I come to deliver a message to you. That, man, don't let your kids get every way that they want. Don't let your kids have everything they want. You know, my son, Jeremiah, he out here busting the grind to the oldies with the mower, making some loot on the side. He got a job, but he's out here putting the grind in because he wants some extra money. He getting that salt. Yes, sir, Dr. Barnes. Dad, can you come cut this lawn for me? If you want the money, son, you're going to have to cut it. That's salt. Because one day, son, when you grow up and dad ain't nowhere around, there's going to be somebody who you're working for. Unless you're working for yourself and you still working for somebody, if you're in your own business, they're going to expect you to get the job done. And you can't have been fed your entire life sugar, pacified and babied and put blindfolds over what reality surely is. Here's what I know, that the speaking business is one of the hardest industries to work in. It's hard. People don't want to pay you $7,000 to talk. They want to pay you 50 cents. And I'm cool with that. But you know what? I ain't giving up because I believe I got a message. And so if I can encapsulate that for myself and say, Chris, you've been doing this 20 years. You ain't giving up. You ain't quitting. You know you got a bigger purpose. I don't need to be fed sugar. I don't need to be told how great I am. I don't need to know what a good speaker I am. Well, you know what I need to do? I need to pull up to the table of salt. And I say, you know what? I got a strategy. You know what? I'm going to absorb some of the water that's around me. I'm going to get thirsty again. I'm going to linger in this place. I'm not going to jump from thing to thing. You know what else? I understand that I'm true to the game. I'm not deviating from who I am. I'm true to C.L. King. And you know what else? Salt is good. Salt. That was the title of the message tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this blessed you. Share this with someone. Share it. It's not sugar. You might want to warn them before you send it. It ain't sugar. It's not Fruit Loops. If you get a cramp, you're not going to want Fruit Loops. If you get a Charlie horse, you're going to want salt. God bless you.